And now let's get into this foolishness. So let's talk about Stephen A. Smith, who had the nerve to jump on social media and talk about, well, it wasn't necessarily social media. It was I think it was a podcast that he does with Shannon Sharp. And the nerve to try to criticize Serena Williams performing during halftime. So yeah, let's get into that story. So the tennis superstar, as you know, appeared during Kendrick's performance of Not Like Us, displaying her dance moves while Lamar rapped the hit Drake diss track. Now, Williams' appearance during this particular song is no coincidence, as she dated Drake in 2011, which wound up with the Canadian rapper releasing the song Too Good about Williams 5 years later, in which he repeats the lyric, I'm too good to you, or you might be too good for her. Now, Williams is married to, as some of y'all may or may not know, her husband, Alexis Ohanian, is a co-founder of Reddit, and they have 2 daughters together. Now, this raised questions, about Williams' rationale for partaking in the diss track performance and its petty jabs towards her romantic fling from nearly 15 years ago, where she now has a family of her own. And this, of course, caused Stephen A. Smith and that high forehead hairline to jump into the conversation and assert an opinion nobody asked them for. So he said the following, quote, if I'm married and my wife is going to join trolling her ex, go back to his ass, because clearly you don't belong with me. This is what he said on ESPN's First Take. He said, what you worried about him and you're with me. Bye-bye. Now, if you were with Serena Williams, you're going to be a kept man anyway. And this is what co-host Ryan Clark said. He said, don't start that. Well, to think about it, I'm like, who's going to be a kept man? Because Serena Williams and Drake are famous in their own right. So who's going to be a kept man? Because Drake ain't going to be kept and Serena ain't going to be kept. Because they're two, in my opinion, I would think, well, I don't know. Drake presents alpha, but he don't give alpha like he in the bedroom. He definitely gives submissive. And when I look at Serena, Serena definitely gives alpha, female, very dominant, very controlling. But there's a lot of people who, in their professions, present as alphas, but behind the scenes in the bedroom or even in their personal life, they present as betas. So they kind of take more of the submissive role, which there's nothing wrong with that if that's something that you and your partner have agreed on. And then there's some that's just a grade A narcissist that want to be the alpha all damn day, every day. First of all, that's exhausting. So I vehemently disagree with him on this. I'm like, there's probably a multitude of reasons why Serena decided to do what she did. And I think she actually did reveal why she decided to do the halftime. I didn't get a chance to read why she did it. But the good thing is that I did like the fact that Shannon Sharp also came to Ohanian's defense. He basically said that he did well enough for himself financially. So basically, you're discounting. Because I'm like, what are you talking about? So I guess what y'all were trying to say was that Alexis is a cat man. I'm like, first of all, he's a co-founder of Reddit. Like, he don't have to work. He's basically accumulating coin upon coins upon coins while everybody goes on Reddit and throws on their think pieces or whatever the case is. So he's doing well for himself. He created a site like a Facebook, like they call it Meta, it's Facebook, like a Twitter and all these other apps. Reddit is up in there with them as well. So he don't need to work. He's a tech guy. So how is he a kept man? To me, it just seems like Alexis is secure in his manness that he knows at the end of the day, Serena gonna do what she gonna do, but she coming back home to me. I know I'm secure enough in my manhood that my girl can go off and throw a little shade, not only at Drake for writing that diss track about me, but also for me to get my clap back at Wimbledon for trying to come for me for crip walking when I was playing a tennis match, and I won the match. So now, they said joining Lamar and Williams in the onslaught of trolling was yet another partner from his past, and that's SZA. And we did talk about the fact that he and SZA dated, because he said, in a song, I used to date SZA back in 2008 on his feature on Mr. Right Now by 21 Savage and Metro Boomin. SZA later confirmed this though, added that it was actually 2009. So you writing songs, you don't even remember when you was actually sticking your peen up in her, allegedly. Now, while SZA featured mainly on other portions of the performance and did not add any particular trolling, it may have been a tough watch for Drake and Lamar. As he performed the Song of the Year, Grammy-winning diss track, and two of Drake's exes at the event would naturally like to headline um, himself. Now, I should point this out. Now, while Stephen A. Smith said his misinformed BS and trying to say the man is rent free in her mind 14 years later, Serena's husband actually jumped on the Twitter and said the following. He said, halftime show about to start and no one has left their seats. And then he responded by also saying, pretty fantastic halftime show. And also, when people was criticizing the fact that she was up there performing, he also said this. He said, some of y'all have no idea how criticized Serena was for this same dance at Wimbledon 13 years ago, and it shows this is bigger than the music. And what people need to realize, and that's what he said, and funny enough, while people criticizing Kendrick, that is what he said. This is bigger than, the music. This is bigger than just some average show that y'all coming up in here and seeing. And this is not what y'all gonna get when I'm getting up here and performing. And people still mad. He told you what you was gonna get. Now, later replying directly to a tweet from the New York Post, I should say, about Stephen's divisive comments, because, people did drag his ass down to the floor. And I really wish I would have had the comments on what he said. Alexis Hilarious wrote, I got you at Stephen A. Smith, alongside a link to his tweet about the significance of Serena's dance. So, yeah, while you up in here getting all emotional and in your feelings about what you would do if you was in that situation, first of all, sir, one must get a woman first and put a ring on it before he could talk about divorcing her. So maybe you need to work on getting the girl first. And then we could talk about the possibility of if she went off to throw shade at her ex in somebody else's performance, that you would drop her like a hot potato. So I said all to say, what do you guys think of this story in regards to Stephen A. Smith basically telling me he would divorce Serena Williams if she was his wife and she got up there and went and performed a dance throwing shade at her ex and the performer that she's performing for, his rival. So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.